Nene will sit down with a pro gamer, dissecting his strategies, his triumphs, as well as the obstacles, and of course he has conquered on this extraordinary journey. So that is certainly an episode that you're looking forward to. But before then, it's important that we tell you what is in the world of news. Karibu. Tonight, President William Ruto orders arrests of individuals behind the Sondu clashes that have led to the death of 7 people.
Vile tunawakalia Al-Shabaab, hawa watu wa Sondu hapa watakiona cha mtema kuni.
Also, Kenya Kwanza and Azimio sides return for the final round of bipartisan talks on Wednesday next week as deep-seated issues to do with the 2022 general election persist.
And therefore, as we resume next week, we shall basically be focusing on building consensus around those other outstanding issues.
We'll be looking at all the 5 issues as we agreed at the beginning of our talks.
And tonight we tell you the untold stories of caregivers of children living with cerebral palsy. It could even be worse for them.
Mtoto alikuwa na shida ya mikono, akawa amewekewa plaster akiwa na 3 days old. So you can imagine the trauma that I underwent.
Well, TV47 Weekend Edition begins right away. My name is Linda Alela, and of course on the sign language interpreter screen is Ruda Nyamai, who tells me that my name is signed as this. I'll sit her down later to explain why. Karibu sana. It's always good to have you interact with us. The hashtag is Disruptive Friday. And to start us off, President William Ruto has likened persons behind the Sondu clashes that have led to the death of 7 people to terrorists. Speaking while on a day 1 of his Nyanza tour, the president said the government will deal firmly with those behind the chaos that has left about 200 families displaced. Eric Matika leads us off tonight.
A day after Interior CS Kithure Kindiki transferred security chiefs from both sides of Kericho-Kisumu border in a bid to restore calm in the troubled Sondu area, President William Ruto has ordered for the immediate arrest and prosecution of perpetrators of Sondu clashes. He directed the Interior CS to ensure that all those involved in the deadly clashes are arrested and prosecuted with immediate effect.
Kuna watu wanaturudisha nyuma na kulete vita kati ya jamii na kati ya majirani. Nishamwambia Profesa Kithure Kindiki, vile tumewakalia wale wa North Rift, vile tunawakalia Al-Shabaab, hawa watu wa Sondu hapa watakiona cha mtema kuni.
Leaders from Nyanza region had called for a truce between the conflicting communities before the president's Nyanza tour amidst the clashes. President Ruto described the conflict between the members of the Luo community and their Kalenjin counterparts living on the border between Kisumu and Kericho as regressive.
Sikizeni, hatutaki mambo ya ujinga ya ukabila. Sisi tunaishi Kenya moja. Na serikali ya Kenya ni serikali ya kila Mkenya. Mimi nataka niwahakikishie na tayari tumeweka mpango kamili na nimemwambia Profesa Kindiki ahakikishe ya kwamba kila mtu ambaye alisababisha mwananchi akapotesha maisha yake lazima akamatwe na lazima apelekwe jela, kwa sababu kuua mwananchi mwenzako ni mambo ambayo haikubaliki.
The head of state was speaking hours after 7 people lost their lives in the clashes, which has seen leaders from either side begin the blame game on who is exactly to blame. Eric Matika, TV47, Nairobi.
In the same breath, President William Ruto has reiterated the need for unity of purpose, especially when it comes to matters development in every corner of the country, despite the tribal or political inclinations. Speaking in Nyanza region, where he commenced a 4-day tour, the president has promised to support a fishing sector, stating that the country will no longer import a fish from China as to allow the sector to thrive.
President William Ruto took Nyanza by storm as he commenced his 4-day tour in the region, launching various projects. President urging the people of Nyanza and country at large to shun tribal and party politics and focus on development, as he assured them of equity in development, insisting that no one will be left out in his government.
Tuko pamoja jameni. Na watu wa Nyanza, mimi nataka niwaeleze, mtu asiwaambie ya kwamba mko nje ya serikali. Hii serikali ni serikali ya Kenya. Nyinyi mnalipa ushuru na nyinyi ni wa Kenya. Hii serikali ni serikali yenu. Nyinyi mnanielewa?
Leaders who accompanied the president in his tour insisting that everyone should be granted an opportunity to work with government despite of party inclinations.
Mimi niwaulize Agwambo, my elder brother, si namna hiyo? Yeye aitwe prime minister leo. Mimi nilichangia, sikuchangia? Nilichangia sehemu kidogo ama sehemu kubwa? Si ndio? Na siku hiyo hatukuwa tunataka Agwambo akuwe ati prime minister. Sisi tulikuwa tunatafuta kiti ya rais. Kwa grupu yetu sisi tulikuwa tunatafuta kiti ya rais. Sasa mimi nataka kuuliza, kwa ile group Agwambo alikuwa na mimi nilikuweko, si tulikuwa tunatafuta siku ile? Hatukupata. Saa hii tumepata ama hatujapata? Sasa tabu iko wapi?
Atatembelea mkoa wa Nyanza. Na mimi kama governor ya Siaya nikasema ya kwamba nitamkaribisha rais katika eneo hili. Sasa nataka ijulikane ya kwamba tumekuja hapa kwa mambo ya maendeleo. Siku ya siasa tutapiga siasa.
His bag of goodies had a lot to offer the region, promising to stop fish importation from China and strengthening the fishing sector, which is a source of livelihoods to the people of Nyanza, as this will contribute to economic growth, promising to develop 8 landing sites in the larger Nyanza region.
Victoria, saa zingine wavuvi wanaenda wanakosa samaki kwa sababu ya overfishing. Na ndio sababu hiyo tumeweka shilingi bilioni 1 pale Kobonyo ili tutengeneze hatchery na tuhakikisha kwamba tunaweza kuzalisha fingerlings ya samaki ambayo tutaweka hapa katika ziwa la Victoria, ndio wavuvi wetu waweze kuvua samaki, ndio tuweze kuzalisha chakula ya kutosha, tufukuze njaa.
President William Ruto is expected to continue with this tour tomorrow, expected in Homa Bay, where he will launch various projects. Elizabeth Mutuko, TV47, Nairobi.
And tonight, the race to beat the deadline in the ongoing national dialogue talks between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio coalitions will enter a crucial phase this coming week when talks between the two sides enter the final phase. The two sides, in a press conference today at the Bomas of Kenya, have expressed a hope that they will deliver on their mandate based on 5 thematic areas which will need consensus building before white smoke can billow from Bomas. Apollo Kamau with that.
With huge expectations from Kenyans resting on their shoulders, the National Dialogue Committee, starting Wednesday next week, will burn the midnight oil with just 22 days to go to give Kenyans a working formula on electoral justice and the cost of living, among other issues. During a media briefing at the Bomas of Kenya, Kenya Kwanza and Azimio team leaders Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire and Minority Leader in the National Assembly Opiyo Wandayi displaying a show of optimism.
And we will be working, long hours, probably into the weekends, until we are able to build consensus on those issues.
That Kenyans should remain hopeful and expectant that this committee is going to deliver on its mandate.
After 2 weeks of public submissions that saw the committee receive 258 memoranda, the elephant in the room remains the audit of presidential election result servers, which Azimio holds must be audited before the much-awaited team of new commissioners takes over at Anniversary Towers. Consensus on the sticky issue of the cost of living and Kenya Kwanza's constant raids on Azimio affiliate parties will also wear down the parties in the path to consensus.
We seem to have had convergence on a number of issues so far. And therefore, as we resume next week, we shall basically be focusing on building consensus around those other outstanding issues.
We'll be looking at all the 5 issues as we agreed at the beginning of our talks, and we will be able now to begin consensus building on the 5 issues starting on Wednesday.
Electoral justice and boundary matters have been classified under one category: prevention of interference with political parties, establishment of key offices like the Leader of Opposition and Prime Cabinet Secretary, outstanding constitutional issues like the cost of living and inclusivity in government, and entrenchment of key funds in the Constitution. Apul Kamau, TV47.
And still on that, a survey conducted across the country on the ongoing bipartisan talks has determined that a majority of Kenyans have no confidence in the National Dialogue Committee that is holding talks between the government and the opposition. A majority of Kenyans feel that, among other things, the committee is not addressing issues like the high cost of living, and it is a waste of time or taxpayers' money. The survey that was conducted across various regions of the country has revealed that most Kenyans believe the talks are a waste of time, with some not caring about the talks at all. A vast majority believe the talks are a waste of time, followed by those who believe the talks will yield results, and those who feel the talks are only a tax-feasting avenue, while a smaller percentage does not care. 52% of the participants are female, while 48% are male, with 75% ranging between 18 and 50 years old.
Of National Dialogue Committee, 61.3% of the people thought it was a waste of time. 34% thought it was going to achieve the purpose that it was created for. 3% felt like there will be a differ during report writing between the members of the committee because of their differences. 1% felt like it was a tax-feasting avenue, and 0.7% really did not care about this committee or whatever it is it was there to do. In the whole county, 68.7% of the people who were conducted on this survey were of the idea that she should be impeached. 26.7% felt there was no need for her to be impeached. 2.9% were undecided. 1% don't know, and 0.7% had no answer.
Now, religious leaders, both Muslim and Christians, have on Friday held a protest walk to express their displeasure against the recent Supreme Court order, that is the ruling that allowed homosexual groups to form the association. The procession made its way to Supreme Court and called for the resignation of the 3 judges who made the majority decision. They then proceeded to Parliament building to show support for the Family Protection Bill 2023, sponsored by Homa Bay Town Member of Parliament Peter Kaluma.
The perverse outcome of this jurisdictional misinterpretation aims at legalizing lesbian, guys and other natural sexual practices through the back door. A court that twists and bends the law to bury what is plain as daylight is a forum of injustice, a threat to liberty, an enemy of Constitution. The Supreme Court misinterpretation of the Constitution is a tantamount to subverting the will of the people of Kenya.
We do also call upon the head of state, His Excellency President William Ruto, to come out strongly against LGBTQ machination.
Hii kitu ni kitu kutoka nje, si kitu ambayo inahusu culture yetu as a Kenyans or as Africans. Hii kitu inaharibu dini yetu, either ukuwe Kristo or Muislamu. So totally hatutaki hiyo tabia kwa Kenya. Tafadhali.
All right, 14 minutes past, that is 9 p.m. East African time. It's time for us to take a quick short break. Please do not go anywhere. We're coming back with more.
The news that matters the most is the one that hits close to home. When disasters strike, we are there to inform you. When the bullets are flying, we tell you who's shooting and why. Reporting on your victories, your health, your money, your security, your past, present, and future. We are interested in telling the stories of creativity, hard work, and resilience that you are known for.
That is our job. This is my job. My name is Victor Moyakane, and it's my honor to bring you this news this way every Thursday night on the home of Untold Stories.
Katika majengo haya, hapa ndipo sheria zinapotungwa na zinapopakuliwa. Nitakuletea viongozi mbalimbali, mirengo mbalimbali, wote kwa pamoja wakipika na kupakua. Tutawapa nafasi kuweza kuangazia changamoto na mafanikio ya ugatuzi katika ukumbi wa siasa kila siku ya Jumanne kuanzia saa 1 kamili na kuendelea.
Thank you for choosing to stay with TV47 Weekend Edition. This is Disruptive Friday, and to more news, leaders from Kitui, Makueni and Machakos counties, led by Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, have pointed out the importance of working with the government for the sake of development despite being in opposition. The leaders from the Ukambani region were speaking during a Thanksgiving prayer meeting convened in Machakos County and included clerical leaders such as Redeemed Gospel Church Archbishop Arthur Kitonga and National Council of Churches of Kenya NCCK chairperson, that is Bishop Timothy Ndambuki, among others. The leaders called on Kenyans to also work hand in hand with county governments in order to effect development in most areas of the country.
Hostility, where personally I have no hostility against anybody. I have no hostility about William Ruto. He knows he's my younger brother. He knows that. Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga. I've worked with all these people.
The president is there and doing a lot of development. Let us also think as a nation, as a tribe. How will we go to the president and talk to him as leaders? Politics will come in 2027. Let us go to the president, talk to him, for him to come to our region and for him to bring development. And therefore, that is another agenda that I lay on your table.
The executive, we are praying for you to work for Kenyans, but we never wish you give the opportunity to Kenyans to suffer anymore.
All right, governors have been asked to convene a consultative forum with the Ministry of Transport and Parliament's leadership over the contentious distribution of road maintenance levy fund. This is after governors protested National Assembly's decision to set the ceiling allocation for the road maintenance levy fund at about 15% against resolution of the National and County Government Coordinating Summit. Our reporter Sheila Chelagat reports.
The 21st Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council IBEC meeting. Here, matters to do with county allocation vis-a-vis the amount of money they collect at their respective devolved units emerged, with the Deputy President urging counties to streamline their revenue collecting function.
The counties have submitted their pending bills reports to the Controller of Budget. However, it was noted that some counties did not follow the first in, first out basis criteria.
According to the DP, billions which would otherwise help the county in their development ventures is lost due to wastage.
The fall has had adverse effects on service delivery and has played a role in the accumulation of pending bills.
On their part, county chiefs moved to protest the allocation set for road maintenance levy fund, which is mainly used in managing key county roads. Each county had been receiving 15% of the allocation as conditional grants. However, in the financial year 2021-2022, the monies for county roads were shared as part of the equitable revenue shares, bringing an end to the conditional grant, which is the roads maintenance levy fund.
According to the governors, in February this year, they agreed with President William Ruto to have the levy reinstated, with counties getting a 20% allocation. The allocation now stands as yet to happen, as the National Assembly in September this year rejected proposals by the Kenya Rural Roads Authority that sought to reduce projected funding ceilings for constituency roads from 22% to 15%.
Financial years 2024-2025 and 2025-2026 that totally excludes county governments and constitutional and geared towards undermining devolution.
This prompting governors to threaten to seek legal redress as they demanded the ceiling allocation for roads in counties be reviewed upwards to 20%.
Interrogate the concerns and the issues as raised by the COG with a view of a win-win situation that doesn't bring acrimony or interferes with the road maintenance program in the counties.
Governors have also been urged to clear pending bills in counties, which, according to the Controller of Budgets, had increased by 11.74 billion Kenyan shillings to reach 164.76 billion as of June 2023. Sheila Chelangat for TV47 in Nairobi.
Thanks, Sheila, for that. Now, providing care to a child who is living with a cerebral palsy is normally a traumatic affair that mostly even affects the mental health of caregivers. As if not enough, it is emerging that some caregivers still face stigmatization, and now the harsh economic time has become another burden in providing care. In this report, produced by Sostin Wanji, caregivers tell the untold stories of their journeys and why it could even be worse for them.
Bungoma County is one of the counties in the country that registers a big number of newborn babies yearly. Cerebral palsy is one of the health complications that affects the newborn, and according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC), the condition affects 1 to 4 children in 1,000 children globally. In Kenya, experts estimate that 1 in 100 children live with the condition.
Arises from damage to the brain, particularly maybe before birth, during birth, and even after birth. So there are so many causes that can lead to brain injury. Maybe before birth, if a mother experiences infections in the womb, or if the baby in the womb experiences a shock.
And as the world marks Cerebral Palsy Day, caregivers have given a share of their tribulations. Esther Chebet is a mother of a cerebral palsy baby aged 5 years in Bungoma town.
Mtoto alikuwa na shida ya mikono, akawa amewekewa plaster akiwa na 3 days old. So you can imagine the trauma that I underwent. Alafu bila alizaliwa hakulia, akafanywa resuscitation.
Chebet says that there are still misconceptions among the communities against the disease, that cerebral palsy is as a result of witchcraft.
Society generally, kuna wale watu wanaongea wanasema mtoto amerogwa, wanakuambia uende ujaribu labda mganga fulani ama ujaribu mahali kwingine.
Masi Naliaka, a resident of Mabanga village in Kabuchai constituency, and Lea Naliaka of Netima village, Bumula constituency, are not exceptional to Esther Chebet.
So imekuwa challenge sana, like ukiingia hata supermarket ama unaingia mahali, hakuna mtu anakubali kukusaidia kubeba mtoto. So you are all alone.
Nimepitia changamoto ngumu sana kulingana na huyu mtoto, sababu sio mtoto wa kutembea.
The caregivers have decried the high cost of living, stating that the medication of cerebral palsy children is not covered, and urging the government to put them in consideration like other diseases.
Kuna dawa inaitwa Epilim, ni expensive, ni 2,000 per bottle, 300 ml. Na mtoto inafaa tumia asubuhi na jioni. So you can imagine after 2 weeks, inabidi utafute 2,000 tena uende uchukue dawa nyingine, hiyo Epilim.
On the other hand, Bungoma County Police Commander Francis Kooli has been a blessing to these angels.
Na kwa sababu ya uhusiano wetu na wananchi na wahisani, leo tunaenda kupeana hizi mobility devices. Umeona tukipatia huyu mrembo ili kuweza kumsaidia huyu mtoto wetu.
Stigmatization and mental health issues such as stress, anxiety and depression are major challenges that cerebral palsy caregivers go through in the country.
Oh, that can be quite devastating. We all say awareness is very, very important. Now, residents of Bori West constituency in Meru County have been left reeling in shock after a 30-year-old allegedly died by suicide days after the demise of her own sister. And as Elizabeth Atieno now reports, the two were buried in the same grave.
Hundreds of residents from Muruga village in Meru County flocked this homestead for the burial ceremony of two sisters who died in a span of 1 week. It is the burial of 30-year-old Irene Makandi and her sister Frida Karira, who succumbed to an illness on the 30th of September this year. It is alleged that Irene could no longer keep up with the pain of losing a sister, hence she allegedly died by suicide on Thursday this week.
Dile jambo ambalo lilitushangaza ni kwamba ndandake ambaye ni the third born of the family akaweza kujitia kitanzi leo masaa ya saa 11 asubuhi, na hilo jambo likatushtua kila moja.
Tuweze kusika au mandanda wawili kwa siku ya leo kulingana na will ya huyo sister yake alijitia kitanzi.
Irene's final wish was to be buried with the same clothes she was wearing when she breathed her last, further pleading not to be buried in a separate coffin. This, however, did not sit well with locals who say it is against their tradition.
Mwili wa aliyejitoa kitanzi haujaweza kutolewa kwa gari kwa sababu kanisa hili alihusiki kuzika watu ambao wamejinyonga ama wamejitia kitanzi kama huyo. Ila tu ibada ambayo inaendelea pale uwanjani nyumbani ni yule ambaye aliweza kugonjeka akaraswa hospitalini na akatuacha.
The late Irene was laid to rest on Thursday at 6:40 p.m. just moments after her sister was laid 6 feet under.
I want this message to reach to our parents that we should offer guidance and counseling to our young people.
Vizuri anaingia ama anaenda kwa ule mtu ambaye ni mzee kuliko yeye, ili anamwambia lile jambo ambalo liko katika mawazo yake na ataweza saidika, lakini akinyamaza hatapata usaidizi wowote.
Elizabeth Atieno, TV47.
And from the sports desk, 25 coaches in the country graduated after attaining the CAF or CAF B coaching license after undergoing a special course offered by Football Kenya Federation FKF at the Kenya Institute of Special Education. Following their graduation, the coaches have been tasked with improving their technical skills, delivery to their players, while at the same time having a keen eye on talent identification and development, according to FKF CEO Barry Otieno, who attended the closing ceremony of the program. The Federation is committed to improving the state of women and youth football through the course that produces out top quality coaches.
Wameweza kucoach makochi wengi sana ukijaribu kuangalia tu Kenya mzima, na ni advantage kwetu because kutoka pale grassroots saizi na unaona venye ball ime grow ball ya Kenya, naweza sema kuna mahali tunaenda. Wanasema ball ni players but ball pia ni makochi. So saizi makochi venye tunazidi tukiwa wengi ndio bado pale chini. Juu saizi ukiangalia makochi kutoka chini, ukienda kila county, ukienda kila mahali, at least unapata makochi wamefanya CAF D nini. So at least kutoka chini watu hiyo wakiwa kutoka pale chini tuko sure wanapitia makochi wenye wako qualified, wenye wameenda class, wenye wanajua kuwafunza the right technique, ambapo wakikuja hapa juu kwetu sasa pia sisi inakuwa ni rahisi juu wana zile basics. Sasa sisi inakuwa tu ni kuwaongezea tactics na vitu zingine labda psychologically
quality itapanda. Kwa sababu na believe sasa hii kama coaches wa academy pia wametrainiwa kufanya hiyo B license, means that from the grassroots tunaanza kupata quality, and the more tunapata quality kutoka the grassroots, the better for the national team. Itakuwa easier for the bigger sides na itakuwa poa kwa the coming generation.
Remember, I told you that it is, of course, that edition of Disruptive Friday, and there's going to be a very important conversation as to the world of gaming. And it's not just about playing, but it goes beyond that. Let's wait to see what Munene has in store for us on that, and of course, we'll be coming back later.
The news that matters the most is the one that hits close to home. When disasters strike, we are there to inform you. When the bullets are flying, we tell you who's shooting and why. Reporting on your victories, your health, your money, your security, your past, present, and future. We are interested in telling the stories of creativity, hard work, and resilience that you are known for. That is our job. This is my job. My name is Victor Moyakane, and it's my honor to bring you this news this way every Thursday night on the home of Untold Stories.
Katika majengo haya, hapa ndipo sheria zinapotungwa na zinapopakuliwa. Nitakuletea viongozi mbalimbali, mirengo mbalimbali, wote kwa pamoja wakipika na kupakua. Tutawapa nafasi kuweza kuangazia changamoto na mafanikio ya ugatuzi katika ukumbi wa siasa kila siku ya Jumanne kuanzia saa 1 kamili na kuendelea.
Toka eneo hili la Naivasha kwenye kaunti 032, gatuzi la Nakuru.
Toka kaunti ya Elgeyo Marakwet, kaunti 028.
Nikiripotia runinga ya TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Wajir.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Turukana.
Kwa matukio yote yanayojiri katika kaunti hii 012.
Kutoka kaunti nambari 1, kaunti ya Mombasa.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Lamu.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka Kisii County.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Machakos.
Kutoka kaunti hii ya Trans Nzoia.
Kaunti 038.
Kutoka gatuzi nambari 029, kaunti ya Nandi, chemichemi ya mabingwa.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Kakamega.
Itakuwa nikiripotia runinga ya TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Bungoma.
Jina langu ni Paula Munio.
Willy Dennis Njiru.
Fabian Kibet.
Mimi ni Hashim Jimal.
Mimi ni Kitio Mika Masai.
John Javakiania.
Jina langu ni Abdulaziz Nameka.
Mimi ni Kombo Alfayo.
Jina langu ni Nicholas Mbai.
Isaac Famba.
Mimi ni Wanji Sosti.
Jina langu ni Arnold Adidi.
Jina langu ni Chris Bet.
Jina langu ni Violet Auma.
Na TV47 inapotamba, mimi Sheila Chelangat nitakuwa nikiripotia maswala yanayokuhusu wewe kila kuchao.
Every Thursday 7:30 p.m. unapata nafasi kufahamu viongozi mbalimbali kutoka humu nchini, kuanzia wabunge.
Through Changa we could get money to pay our rent, pay our bills.
When I was growing up, water was a problem where I was born and bred. We wake up at 3 to go and look for water.
Magavana
must be ready to be a tough woman and not a woman to be walked over.
Kwa hivyo
you respect people.
Ndani ya Mfahamu Kiongozi, story na historia, na mi Elizabeth Muchuku.
Kwa mirindimo kemkem ya michezo, mahojiano ya kipekee na mabingwa wetu, makala ya kuvutia pamoja na matukio mubashara viwanjani. Shabiki, Tutapiga mbizi katika kila kiwanja, ndani na hata nje ya nchi. Mtazamaji, uko tayari? Ni kazi michezoni ama michezo kazini? Ungana nami Ahmed Bahaj, sajili mpya nimefika katika kipindi cha kipekee Mchaka Mchaka. Zitatoka cheche, tutapiga mstari chini yake. Si bora michezo, ni michezo kwa ubora wake. Mcheche.
They say money makes the world go round. So let's slow things down a bit. Put things in perspective. From the markets to the streets to the stocks, we make the complex comprehensible. Join me, Hibak Saeed, on TV47 Business News for market insights like never before.
What's making the headlines? What does it mean to you? How does it affect you? We answer all these questions every Sunday for half an hour on To The Point Show. Hey, I'm Grace Kuriakanja, and a lot has happened this week. Let's dive into it.
Responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCL.
Welcome back to TV47 Weekend Edition. Time for that special edition of Disruptive Friday. Of course, we dive deep into the world of thrilling universe of professional gaming. Of course, this edition, we take you beyond the screens, as I have told you earlier on, and of course to the controllers, into the space of some of those who have transformed the gaming sector into a fully fledged career. Eric Munene sits down with a pro gamer, dissecting his strategies, his triumphs, as well as the obstacles, and of course he has conquered in relation to the extraordinary journey of gaming. Let's sit down and listen into that.
The world of gaming has evolved over the years from being just a casual activity to one that earns millions across the world a living. And that is why today I have a chat with Brian the Beast, Africa's gaming ambassador. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having us here.
You're very welcome. This is my world. Yes.
I can clearly see it. So what exactly do you do?
So I do a lot of things in the gaming space. If I start, I don't know if I should start personally or for the space. I do everything. I do mentorship, I do tournament administration, I'm a professional gamer myself, I coach. I try to consult with guys who want to do anything gaming related. That is, if they want to set up spaces for casual gaming or spaces like this for professional gaming. I host tournaments. I've been working with Pro Series Gaming and Nikon, and now I'm just everywhere just trying to consult and make everyone understand the power of video games. Not just the esports side of it, but the general power of video games, yes.
So who are the stakeholders that you work closely with in this space?
I've had the pleasure to work with a lot of big names. I've worked with Red Bull, Monster, UNICEF, UN Habitat, African Union, and right now even the Saudi Esports Federation and the ESKF, Esports Federation of Kenya. I've had a pleasure of Pro Series Gaming, Nikon, AfriGamer. Literally anybody who is trying to do anything to do with video games and esports, I'm like there, like, let's do it. Yes, yeah.
So I'm sure at one point it was a casual activity for you.
Yes, yes.
So take us through the journey, how it was from just being a casual activity to you taking it seriously to earning a living of it.
I discovered gaming as a kid. The first game I played was Shoot the Ducks, and I was these kids who grew up watching a lot of movies and playing a lot of police and robber. So when I saw I could shoot something on the screen, I was bought by tech. I just loved it. And going on into growing up, I survived life through gaming, because most of the time you'd find me at gaming dens, these places you have one dark screen and 50 people watching you play. That was me. I grew up in these kinds of places, and it saved my life, literally. I mean, a lot of my friends got lost to crime, got lost to societal pressure, but I think gaming helped me hold my own, and in the process I had the chance to learn a lot from gaming. I mean, even speaking English properly is something I learned from video games. So moving forward, around 2013 is when I discovered professional esports, because then I was trying to learn to be a designer and an illustrator at the same time, because I used to do a lot of art, and I realized I love video games and I know how to play them. And I saw this video where somebody was doing a tournament and somebody won, I think, 1,000 USD on a game I was playing. So I was like, I also play this game. I play this game and somebody has made this much money from it. I can also do it. And so in 2013, I started looking for tournaments. I started practicing, going to YouTube, seeing how I can hold the controller. And since then, it's just been going up. So I participated in tournaments since 2013 till 2021. And then I was like, I also want to know what is happening on the administrative side, because I was going to tournaments, I was not winning anything. So I was like, why am I not getting money? And I'm good at this. I saw a video, somebody getting 1,000 USD, what's not happening? So I wanted to know how or what the tournament organizers were going through, or why there wasn't enough money in our scene. And then I started doing tournament administration. So I started working with the likes of PSG, the likes of Nikon, and just trying to learn and understand what is happening also on the other side of it. And that has led us to this day. So now I do consultation for gaming. I teach gaming, I coach gaming, I breathe, live gaming. Yes, that's me. Yeah.
Well, the Beast, just like in movies or other forms of art, I believe we have different genres in gaming. Which ones do you find more lucrative?
It depends on which region you're looking at it from. And that's, I think, where we have failed mostly. Most of us around here, that's where we failed. And I will tell you why. Because I told you again, recently I had the chance to go to Saudi Arabia and participate in the Afro-Arab League. And then I went again for something called the World Next Forum. And in the World Next Forum, they had a place where they were showing the tournaments they do and the prize pools. They have a 45 million USD prize pool. Do you know how much money that is? 45 million prize pool USD that they've already given out. And we saw the titles of the games I shared. There was Fortnite. The top winner got 1 million USD. There was FIFA. Top player got 3 million USD. So it's just 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, and it was different categories of games. There was FIFA, there was Dota. I think Dota was the highest. It had 15 million USD, Dota. So the different games, Street Fighter, FIFA, Dota, and what else? CSGO, and this type of game. So as you find us here, most of us like playing FIFA, and that's it. And that's where we start failing, because number one, it's just restrictive to a certain group, you know? Not all of us like football. I mean, yes, Africans will love football, but not everyone likes football. And you find if there's a tournament every other time, it's FIFA. So for me, I never participated in any FIFA tournament. I don't even watch football. I don't play football. So I was into fighting games. And I can say it's something that needs to be checked on, and the words needs to be spread. And I was like, guys, you need to look at the games people are playing out there and then start playing them. And then you can get a chance to actually participate in those tournaments because you're playing those games. Because it's not just FIFA. You see, so the 45 million prize pool is divided to around almost 12 games. As here, I think the best game you'll have everywhere is FIFA. I think even when you think gaming, the first thing you think is FIFA, but there are different games. So what I'm in this space for as well is also to bring that awareness of the different games that exist and how they can, how you can make money off them, not just going to tournaments. People like Exit Tema create content on TikTok just by imitating a game that was played 10 years ago. San Andreas is a very old game. This guy just makes content and wears clothes like this guy. He has almost 8 million followers. So it's not just an opportunity for the athlete, but also for the casual to make something. So these are the kind of avenues I'm trying to showcase to our youth and bring to light to our youth who don't know. Because even before I didn't know there were tournaments, I started looking for them. I just thought, you know what, I'm good at my village. And then when I went to the first tournament, I was beaten badly. I was like, I need to go learn. So yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Well, gaming can also be very addictive. How do you strike a balance in ensuring that you stay at the top, you're a pro, and ensuring that your personal well-being is also top-notch?
So first of all, the term addictive, I always try to shy away from it because it's one of the biggest problems we have in Africa, in the region, when you try to talk about video games. The next thing somebody tells you is it's addictive. But I ask this, somebody like Cristiano Ronaldo, how long does he stay in the training pitch? Yes? How long does he stay in the training pitch? Yes, he stays for so long. Is he addicted to football? He makes money off it, right? So the thing is, for you to be good, consistency is key. Now, the only problem we have in Africa is gaming is not properly supported. So even if you spend so much time on it, the returns sometimes are not as much as the time you put. You get? But in a good scenario, the amount of time Cristiano puts in the pitch, that's what it translates on how good he is as a player. The same works for esports and video games. The more time you put, the better you become. And this is worse. This is worse why it's almost available for anyone. You know, I can't just walk to a football pitch right now. Yeah, but here you can just walk. You already played a game. You can access it. So every time you need to upgrade, you need to make sure your skills are on point. And when this happens, it now starts to look like it's addictive. And then when it doesn't pay, it's even worse. You're not getting anything from it. So I wouldn't use the term addictive. And then also, personally for me and my journey in gaming, it was a bit different. I started gaming and my mom was like, what is that? I don't know what that is. You sort that out. So I had to work to pay for my gaming. I mean, I used to fetch water for people, pour trash, to get money to go and buy lunch and pay for my video games. So even before I ventured, I already knew it was my responsibility to take care of my gaming. Even when I started going to tournaments, I had to go and do other jobs to get money to go and pay for the registration for the tournament. And this is the case for a lot of gamers right now. They have to do something else to get money and go and pay for the registration of tournaments in order to even participate and maybe win something. So I wouldn't say addictive is the word, I just say it's different. It varies if you look per person. But for me, I felt it imparted responsibility on me in that I had to buy everything for myself. Like, these things are not cheap. The cheapest PS4 back then was around 60K. 60K is not just money you work on. I think I saved for more than a year. And I even won a bet to get that PS. You get? Even if after saving, I had to win another bet to get that PS. And I'm trying to look at the cases for many other Kenyans. They now just have spaces like this. They can't buy them or have them at home. So I wouldn't say addictive is the word. It's just, it varies per person. Addiction is there, yes. But again, as I said, you want to be good, you have to put time in it, yes.
So apart from putting up a space like this, what are the challenges that you faced in your career, in your gaming career?
Yes, I've faced challenges. Where do I start? I have faced all kinds of challenges you can think of. Starting from not owning equipment, to now having equipment, to not having money to buy games, to not having money to do repairs, to not having money to register for the tournament or proper spaces like this to even game in them. I mean, I started in 2013. This is in 2023. 10 years later is when we have spaces like this. You get? So I'm trying to imagine if this was there in the time when I started, I'd be in a different place. And the challenges are endless. The government, taxes on these things is abnormal. For you to even import one, if you start talking of importing, you're rich. You get? So you find it even closes up for some people. Me, I grew up in a slum, so we can't even talk about importing. I have to go and get it from a dealer here. Right now, you go to get a PS5, it's about 100K easily. You buy it from abroad, it's 50K. Those kinds of things affect gaming so much in the ground, and that's why gaming is not at the level it should be. But I'd say that's what I'm here for. I'm here to make it make sense and, you know, just find a way around Africanizing it and making it something every other African can take part in it as casually and as comfortable from where they are. It shouldn't look elitist. It should look like it's for everyone. Yes.
Well, Brian, a lot of people have thought about turning their passion into a career like you've done. So for anyone who's watching right now, what would you tell them? Anyone who wants to turn their passion into a career that earns them a living?
And this is something people should understand. It's not just in gaming, it's the passion itself. The passion is what will open doors for you. I mean, I did this for more than 10 years without getting anything substantial. But I can tell you for free right now, just the other day, I was invited to Saudi Arabia with the Prince. The Prince invited me. Bro, I grew up in Kimbra, I grew up in a slum. But this guy knew me because we have one thing we share in common. We have a passion for video games. And he called me and was like, bro, come here, I want to show you what I've done for video games here. That guy has built a city for video games. Like, this city is a theme park for video games. You walk in there, there's every other game. There's a building that has antique consoles from the first console to what is there now. Like, that's where gaming is heading right now in the world. And we're in a good place, Africa, because nobody has done so much, so we can grow it the best way it suits us. So I tell people, you do what you do with passion. Even if right now it's not paying you, somebody somewhere will see it, and that is the day things for you will change. I won't lie. I mean, I never thought myself, like, imagine Saudi Arabia. You know, you only get frightening news from Saudi Arabia all the time. But I can tell you for free, I was invited by the prince. They paid for the fare and everything, the room. They invited me. They made sure I was comfortable. They sent a limousine for me at the airport. And I'm like, I'm just a gamer. I'm somebody from Kibra. They're like, no, you're a gamer. You are the people we want in this world right now. And we want to show the power of gaming through people like you. So all I say is just put 100 in your passion. It might not pay you now, but the future is something different. You never know. But it's always the best. Patience. We are taught patience. Patience pays. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. But you promise us it pays. It does pay. So what other revenue streams are there apart from competitions are there in gaming?
There is a lot. Man, like right now you're doing journalism on gaming. Somebody will go and write about this. That is an opportunity. Game development. We haven't even talked about that. We're not developing a lot of games in Africa, and we have a lot of stories. I mean, play like God of War. I know the whole of Greek mythology from that game. Imagine us doing a game based on an African hero. And for us, we actually have the heroes. We are taught about them in school. Imagine those heroes being turned into games. That will be free education. I mean, gaming is the one tool that you won't force the kids to go to class. They'll just go and do it. And they will memorize everything because they need to get the next level by knowing everything that is happening. So I feel like we have a very good thing here. If we are keen and do it in the right way, we'll sort out the future nicely. And the opportunities are endless. Content creation. Gamers can create content. If you feel like being a pro athlete is heavy on you, you can create content. Game development. If you feel like you want to create something, you want to see people play your games, that's an esports athlete. Esports coaches. Now, esports athletes need fitness. Now we get coaches who take esports athletes to the gym. Now, setups, places like this. I want to set up a space for athletes to play. There is something there. I want to set up a gaming lodge, people to come enjoy themselves. I want to build a town like the prince has done in Saudi Arabia. I want to build a town for gaming. You see, those are endless opportunities. And this town, let's say, people will work in there, right? So from the cleaners to the tech to everybody, you see the employment this can create. It's just, it's just a drop I'm touching on. So there's a lot of opportunities. If we look at them keenly, we can easily solve the youth joblessness problem to some extent.
Well, you say you've just scratched the surface of gaming, the gaming industry. What trends or innovations are you foreseeing in the near future, and how are you preparing for them?
Okay, so the number one thing I'm using to prepare myself for the future is looking at what has been done around the world. And I've been fortunate to be able to travel to the one place that is now becoming the gaming hub, that is in Saudi Arabia. And I saw a couple of things they were doing there, and I want to find a way which we can come together as the guys who do gaming in the country. So I'm talking about gaming organizers, AfriGamer, Pro Series Gaming, Nikon. They sit down in one room and decide we're going to do this like this and head in this direction. I think the only other thing that is holding us back is people are divided. They don't want to work together. But if people work together, as I saw in Saudi Arabia, people work together, gaming can blow up easily than anything else. I mean, it's just learning more and having exposure to what is happening out there in the world and looking at how can we make it happen here in Africa, here in Kenya. Because we fail. I think the biggest thing I saw we fail at is we are trying to do tournaments the way they happen abroad, Europe and USA and Asia. We forget, number one, those people have good connectivity. Number two, they have infrastructure that supports gaming. We're talking about electricity, it's constant. The government, the taxes on this equipment is not that expensive. You live next to the manufacturer of a console. Like literally you can walk and just order one and get it. For us, it's a different ball game altogether. So when you start looking at things like those, it makes it easy for you to know where to start, what to do, how to do it. So for me right now, like I said, I have to consult and make sure everybody understands what they have in their hands right now that they can use to make gaming make sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And finally, for the Saudi prince to call you, it means you're good at what you do. You're at the top right now. How do you handle that pressure to stay at the top? Because it's a competitive industry.
It's this. What I do is specific to me. And I don't look at it as pressure. I look at it as a good opportunity to open doors for my fellow gamers and give them the opportunities I didn't have. For me, that's how I see myself. I'm creating the path. So there's a lot of things I'll miss out on, and it's okay. But I don't see myself as I'm there at the top now. I'm the most casual person you'll meet, because I realized one thing: if I become a superstar, I'll have this fence around me. Then I'll become inaccessible to the lowest person. And then they won't be able to learn what I know because they'll fear me, or they won't be able to approach me. I'll be unapproachable. But I want to be approachable so that if anybody has a question, I'm able to answer them and get them to understand what it is they're getting themselves into, and just the opportunities and everything underlying around gaming. You see, because I have had to learn the hard way. So my aim being here is not for other people to learn the hard way, is to make them have the information at will. So I don't look at it as pressure. I think the pressure for me right now is to, I don't know, bring the two worlds together, Saudi and Africa, not just Kenya, Africa, together, and get gamers traveling, seeing the world. Number 2, doing what they love, playing video games. Number 3, meeting other gamers, creating connections around the world. And then I feel like if I do that, my job is done.
Any final remarks?
Come to AfriGamer, practice, they do coaching, check out PSG, lined up, the tournaments lined up coming, and don't lose hope. This world might look dark sometimes, but you never know. Keep doing what you're doing, do it at 1,000, not 100, 1,000%. And the future will reward you abundantly.
Thank you.
Oh, so who said that gaming is for boys? It is for men, as you can evidently see. You just look at it as gaming, but it is beyond that. It sharpens your wit. It certainly sharpens the wit of your child. So you get into that space, you certainly get to learn some more. Perhaps it's time that you try out. Otherwise, thank you so much, Munene, for that incredible conversation, and of course, allowing us into the world of gaming and learning some more. It's at this very point that we almost come to a close of this very show. Thank you so much for keeping us company right from the beginning up until now. My name is Linda Alela, certainly doing this with our sign language interpreter, Roda Nyamai. We say asante sana, and equally on behalf of Munene, thank you so much. It is time for Wabibi, not Wabibi, and it's Wabibi experience. So why don't you put on your dancing shoes? Do have yourself a lovely night ahead. See you again tomorrow.
Thank you.